Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Professor David J. Delosreyes. What I will be discussing tonight will be how to check a refrigerator thermostat if it is working good or if it is bad. The thermostat I will be checking tonight is a new one, and it's a two-terminal thermostat. I will try to discuss this one. This is the first terminal, this is the second terminal, and I will connect the terminals of my multi-tester to terminals number 1 and number 2. Okay, I will connect it. I just got an extension for the clip of the multi-tester because the black or the red and black are actually short, so I added a terminal to connect the terminals going to the terminal of the thermostat. Right now, I use my multi-tester and I set it on the continuity range for us to determine if the connection between terminal number 1 and number 2 inside the relay will close or open. Okay? If the thermostat is actually on the off position, the reading on the multi-tester on the so-called continuity test, it's an OL, it's an open circuit. So for the meantime, the coldness of the refrigerator is actually set at 0, and the connection between terminals number 1 and number 2 is actually OL, it's an open circuit. For us to determine if the thermostat is working good or bad, good or not, I will try to rotate. This is the knob. Okay, I don't have the rotating knob here, so I'll just use my plier here to rotate this one. It's a little bit what do you call this? It hurts if you try to push this one clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, so right now the thermostat is actually on the counterclockwise 0 rotation. It's on the 0 position on the counterclockwise direction. So for this thermostat to close terminals number 1 and number 2, okay, to energize the what you call this compressor, because the compressor is actually connected between these terminals number 1 and number 2. Okay, what I will be doing is I will try to rotate the knob in the so-called clockwise direction. The rotation now is actually halfway going to the clockwise direction, and as you could hear it, the tester is now ringing, meaning to say the circuit that connects terminal number 1 and number 2 inside the relay is now closed. So at this time, the compressor will be operating. And as we try to rotate this one more on the clockwise direction, the connection is still on, but the coldness will now be different because this knob here is actually the cold control of the refrigerator. Okay? So after the zero thing going to the clockwise direction, the circuit connecting terminals number 1 and number 2 is actually closed, and at the same time, we are varying the coldness of how the refrigerator will produce a coldness inside. Okay? One more time, I will try to bring back this one to the opposition. So when I brought back this one to the opposition, the ringing on the tester should be off. Okay? The tester now is not anymore ringing, so the connection between terminals number 1 and number 2 inside the relay is actually open. So at this position, I think supposed to be the compressor is not operating, so it does not produce any coldness at this moment. That's an OL reading. It's not even ringing, meaning the continuity, the connection between terminal number 1 and number 2 inside was actually open because we put the thermostat on the off position. Again, I will try to put the thermostat on the on position by rotating the knob going clockwise. Okay, a little bit going clockwise, maybe 20% or 30% of the total 360 degrees. The multi-tester is now operating, meaning to say, as we rotate the thermostat after the zero thing, the thermostat is now on the on position and producing coldness at 20% because this is set at 20%. If I will put this one at 30%, the connection will still be on and the coldness will be much higher than the previous one. Again, as I will try to rotate this one more time, going to 50%, the setting is at 50%, and the continuity between these terminals number 1 and number 2 is actually still on. Okay, it's ringing, right? So when the tester is ringing, the thermostat is actually on the on position. Again, before we will go for tonight, I will try to put the thermostat on the opposition by rotating the knob going counterclockwise. Okay, the position now of the knob is actually at this zero position after rotating this fully to the counterclockwise direction. Again, one more time, I will try to rotate it a little bit going clockwise to put the thermostat on the on position. A little bit. Just a little bit. Again, the thermostat is again open. Okay. So at this position, the refrigerator will be producing a coldness. It depends on how many percent it was rotated with respect to 360 degrees. Again, I will put this thermostat on the position. I will rotate this one fully counterclockwise. It's off. The reading is OL, it's an open circuit, and the thermostat is again on the off position. That's how we check if the thermostat is working good or not. Okay, good evening from Los Angeles. This is Professor David J. Delos Reyes.